We're here today to announce charges in the largest college admissions scam ever prosecuted by the Department of Justice.
Oscar nominee Felicity Huffman facing cameras in a real-life drama that could land the actress in prison. When addressing the judge today, Huffman's voice began to quiver, fighting back tears. She stressed her daughter didn't know about her actions. Trying to regain her composure, Huffman answered, "Yes, Your Honor," when asked, "Are you guilty of the charge?" The Oscar nominee pleaded guilty to conspiring to commit fraud after paying a college admission consultant $15,000 to improve her daughter's SAT score without her knowledge. In a letter to the judge ahead of her sentencing later this week, the former Desperate Housewives star writing, "In my desperation to be a good mother, I talked myself into believing that all I was doing was giving my daughter a fair shot. I see the irony in that statement now because what I have done is the opposite of fair." Huffman now requesting a year's probation, a $20,000 fine, and 250 hours of community service. But prosecutors have a different idea. 1 month behind bars.
Felicity, how are you?
In a new, strongly worded sentencing memo, prosecutors write, Huffman's conduct was deliberate and manifestly criminal, arguing neither probation nor home confinement in a large home in the Hollywood Hills with an infinity pool would constitute meaningful punishment.
Yeah, everything's gonna be okay.
Describing Huffman as having a kind heart, friend and former co-star Eva Longoria is among the 27 people who have written letters of support. Huffman's husband, William H. Macy, who was not charged and was rarely seen in court, also writing to the judge. Watching Felicity being a mother is a wonderful thing to see. Every good thing in my life is because of Felicity Huffman.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.